Hi, it's Terry with Backdoor Quilts. It's Sunday and I'm sewing in my jammies. And I know you may not have heard about this, but there's an eclipse that's going to be right over Indianapolis, including Greenwood, on Monday. So we've had a lot of out of town visitors already for Eclipse weekend. And we will be open today from 1 to 4. And then I'll be in the shop, and I think Linda too, tomorrow from 9 to 1. And we're closing up so we can go home before the traffic gets bad. So, what I wanted to show you today is a really common block and our tricky technique for doing the quarter square triangles. So, this is an Ohio Star block. I may or may not be wearing one on my nightgown. And it's our logo, and it's one of our favorite blocks to do. It's really easy. So you have 4 squares. This one represents a 12-inch size, but you can make them any size. And then here is a quarter square triangle, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can make that. A lot of times, these 2 fabrics are the same, and these 2 fabrics are the same, but for this one, we made this one different. So you can do it a couple different ways. One way, and probably the simplest way, is just to cut squares like this and then cut them in 4 diagonally. You always want the straight of grain on a quarter square triangle to be on the outside. So you wouldn't want to cut half square triangles and try and make this out of those, because this would be all bias. So this is supposed to be straight of grain, and this is supposed to be bias. And you can do it like that. That's really easy. The other thing you can do is you can take 2 of the fabrics, and my fabrics are all different, but you can take 2 of the fabrics and put them right sides together, mark up the center, and sew on either side. It can be a 1/4 inch, it can be smaller. This is a little bit smaller. So I did that with 2 of the fabrics. See, 2 different ones. And then I cut up the middle and I pressed it to the dark side. You want to make sure when you do that that you don't distort it, like make it, kind of crooked or anything. You want that to be nice and straight. When you starch the fabric first, that helps sometimes. And then you're going to put these right sides together so that they're opposite. So the blues are opposite and the light colors are opposite. With your fingers, you can feel where that seam is, and you want to push it together as much as you can. And you can pin that. Then you're going to mark down the center again, mark the center, and then sew on either side again. This is going to be trimmed when it's done, so you don't have to be so super perfect about it. But then when you cut it apart, look, you're going to have a quarter square triangle. When you're done with this, see how I have like raw edges and stuff? You want to trim it. This is about 4.5 inches now, but if you're going to trim it to 4.5 inches, we'll just pretend. You're going to put your ruler on. So 4.5 divided in 2 is 2 1/4. So you're going to put that there. You're going to put your make sure your diagonals are up the middle. And then you're going to trim on 2 sides and then turn the ruler or turn the whole piece and trim on the other 2 sides. So here's your 2 1/4 again. It's a little distracting because I still have this underneath. But then you're going to trim it, and you're going to have 4.5 inches all the way across. They'll sew down to 4 inches, and then you'll have a 12-inch block when you're done. This is a really easy pattern to divide and make into any size. So if you wanted a 3-inch block, these would be 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and they'd sew down to 1 inches. I don't know why you'd want a 3-inch, but you might. You never know. So this is a really fun block to do, and you should keep this in your mind if you're going to do quarter square triangles in a project. So I hope you get to see the eclipse if you're in central Indiana or along the path of totality, and we'll be showing a slideshow soon of the quilts that we've received. So, and we also have a lot of new fabric and new samples. So be watching our Facebook and Instagram for those things. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.